Good afternoon. It is a beautiful day today. It's snowing out. Kids stayed home from school, so there we go. All right, cool. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in on this 12 noon edition of the Daily Edge. Really excited to see what we have in store today. We definitely put some work in yesterday. I put a ton of work in yesterday into the model. I don't want to see yesterday happen. I don't want to see picking 80% of the games. I'm hoping that what the ELO system, as I've talked about a bunch. Oh my god, dude, it hurts. I'm crutching it up, but it's better. I didn't. It was like a really easy area to fracture, and I got some X-rays, and luckily I didn't fracture anything. So I'm just limping around right now. Can't play in the snow with my kids. R.I.P. So anyways, yeah, I'm hoping that this ELO system helps us out a lot. I back tested as much as I could yesterday. Found us in a good place. Found a good way to share some better info for you guys too. So as you can see, I added a new section called Quick Hits. So that'll be a nice look for you guys to see. Big shout out to one of the mods guys that's involved in this project, Cratling. He's been doing so much helping me out so much with the rest day data. And look at that. We got streak data now, so we can see what kind of winning streaks our teams are on. Overall streaks, it's not by venue there. I'm also pulling in our puck line data, our regulation wins, our overtime, all that. So that is for your viewing pleasure. Hope you guys can see that okay. This is all by venue with the exception of our rest and our streak data. So otherwise though, this is all venue based. We're pulling in injuries. I'm weighting those in a little bit better into our injury scores. So this is just so you guys can see all the injuries. Some of them I'm not yet able to say if they're probable or what the situation is there yet, because the only data feed I could find through hockeyreference.com gives me some info as far as, you know, what the injury type is, and then we have notes. But I'm filtering a lot of crap out because I'm basically looking at games played, the points that they've contributed. I'm just really just dividing that across the amount of points they've contributed to the team to calculate in to our new injury score. Anyways, ELOs, so excited about that. I can give you guys a look behind the hood on that one. So that's now in my advanced stats. So if we look at ELO system here, basically I started every team the beginning of the season out at 1500, just very flat, basic. So it's pulling this team, the Ducks ELO, and then their opponents, the Sharks ELO. And what's happening is we're getting a percentage based on the ELO formulas. So just the win percentage prediction and pride probability just based simply on ELOs. From there, we're looking at if they won or lost, there's a new ELO value assigned to that person. So these guys, and it's based on the differential of points. So if you notice, like this game they gain 10, this game they gain 9, and those slowly start changing as we go through it. Let's say like they really weren't supposed to win a game, for example, and they did an upset. That's going to swing the points a little bit more than if they just got beat by a team that they should have beaten. So anyways, really excited that I have this available. I am going to start. Right now I can only manually slice the ELO rankings for you guys, but I'll look for a way to power rank these a little bit easier so you guys can get a look at what the discrepancy of teams are based on just their total performance for the year, and it's all matchup based. So it gives us really good look at strength, in my opinion. So anyways, we're pulling that in specific to our matchups. So as you can see, the first thing we're looking at is an ELO rating. Penguins and Flyers are actually pretty similar. Once again, too, looking at the this is their total away and home record, and this is going to be the last 10. So the last 10 is what we always look at here, but this is just so we can all see that it's very similar in per venue with both teams, although the Penguins not as good in the last 10 in comparison to the Flyers, just doing really well there. The Penguins are on a 4-game losing streak, and I haven't spot checked this data yet, but I do believe it's going to be hopefully accurate. We just pulled these in this morning. One, two, three, four. Hey, look at that. Cratling, you are the boss sauce. Appreciate you, man. We got this all figured out. And then the 1-game win streak for the Flyers. Okay, cool. So that is accurate information. A few injuries here. Malkin's out. So just balancing between offense and goalies. We're actually pretty similar here. Moving through. So we have a 55.2% win rate for the Flyers. So one thing I've been thinking about is, obviously finding edges against the book odds are really important, and especially when it comes to a big discrepancy in an underdog. But one thing I do want to consider is if I'm projecting a team to win more than 50% of the time, and the books are kind of agreeing with that, I might back test and start playing around with that to see if those are just good bets in general. So more to come. I'm going to play around today with some of that just to see how those bets go. But we'll take a look at the book odds anyways. Flyers underdogs. Biggest dogs on Bet Online. So we're looking at 2.01. Oh, sorry. We're at the Penguins. Penguins are 1.84 against the Flyers, who are 2.07. So regardless of that advantage that we found, we have an edge either way on this game. Kind of personally not quite sure why the Flyers are underdogs listed. Does anyone have any insight that my model doesn't have on that? I'd be curious. I see the elo difference a little bit there, but other than that, I mean, I guess they're not shooting as well. But there's a goaltender advantage over to the Flyers. So all right, so we got the Flyers at 2.07. And we're looking at a 55.2% win ratio there. So cool stuff. All right, moving on to the Sharks against the Canucks. And the way that my feeds are coming in here, they're not going in any kind of order. So we're on to the 10 o'clock game real quick. Martin Jones against Jacob Markstrom. All right, looking at that. So once again, we got a decent elo differential here. So the gain for the Sharks if they win won't be as large, which is and it's an equal gain and loss. But if the Canucks win, they'll gain a bunch of points there on the elo rating. So Carlson looks like he's injured as of the 1st. If anyone wants me to go into the detailed injury report, I can give you the info as to what's going on there. Once again, I'm just looking at the point contribution across all games and then creating a score based on that. Couple injuries, 3 injuries on the Canucks side. Sharks doing well, 5-game win streak, like to see that. Last 6 above 500, Canucks not so much. Look a lot better on rest. Not a huge fan of these puck line or regulation stats at all, or overtime. Looks very similar there. So let's go ahead and see where it lines up. As expected, though, the Sharks, with the exception of the goalies, looking really, really good. Definitely some favorites on that side there. And odds, we got 1.6, 1.6, and 1.62. Okay. Best odds for this match is available on Bookmaker, it looks like. And this is good. This is good news for me, just based on the quick eye test, and then where we're coming in with our implied probability versus the book. We are identical on the Canucks, and they just have their VIG, so I'm not calculating VIG. Praise the ELO system. Hopefully it pays off for us. Aside from ELO, I also played a little bit differently as far as the venue advantage scores go, so that's also giving us a minor tweak in what we're doing, in the odds that we're getting. An example of yesterday's game, we wouldn't have played, I think we would have played like 3 or 4 games, and the only one we wouldn't have been able to predict as a loss is the RIP Sippy pick, Andy Sippy getting wrecked. We did not make it on Carolina. Wow, you look ridiculous.